What if I told you your imagination is the most powerful magical tool that you already have? 90% of you aren't using it to its full potential. And if you want to become a true magician with your mind, stay with me, because no one else is talking about it this way. Hi guys, it's Sarah. I'm back with another video finally. So let's jump right into the topic of visualization. I'll explain the basics and then I'm gonna go into how to use it in a way that I don't see anyone else talk about it. Now, if you practice any form of energy work or even just manifestation stuff, you've already heard a million times that you should visualize the end result. Now, what is visualization? Basically, you get into a relaxed state of mind and you close your eyes and you imagine a scene from the future with the end result that you want. And you usually picture it from your point of view. That includes seeing it, feeling it, and experiencing it as if it's already real. Now, why is it used? There are two different schools of thought here. The first one is the scientific perspective. So when you enter a meditative state, you have access to your subconscious mind. Now, your subconscious mind can't distinguish between real and imagination. If you keep doing this consistently, you're impressing that vision onto your subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is what drives your habits and your emotional responses. And then by feeding your subconscious new images and emotions through visualization, you start rewiring your brain. And you're literally creating new neural pathways that align with the reality you're calling in. And that changes how you think, how you act and show up, and ultimately it's going to change the results that you're getting in life. The spiritual perspective is that our subconscious mind connects us to the universe, universal power, God, whatever it means for you. And by visualizing, we're in the state of creation. We are putting the energy out there. We're sending it up the phone line. We're transmitting the signal up there into the ether so that it can take shape down here on earth, right? As above, so below. And the more you do it, the more energy is behind your visualization. You'll also start creating thought forms. And I have a whole video on thought forms as well. I have so many wild stories where I visualized very specific things that came to pass just like that. And especially when I was younger, I definitely brought on some things that I absolutely didn't want. And I didn't just worry about certain things happening. I would, in my fear, go into picture situations and then somewhat obsess over it and then fear these situations. And it wouldn't just happen. It would always happen in the exact way that I had kind of pictured it unintentionally. But just a little side note, I'm not one of those people that says that everything is in our control and everything is a manifestation of something. I don't agree with this at all. But those situations, I know I did them to myself. So be careful. And it's normal to have bad images come up, especially from your past. And that's not really what I mean. All I'm saying is when you have some horrible image, future image in your mind, stop right there and ask yourself why you're feeling this and what you're afraid of, but try not to focus on the actual image. And for this exact reason, I don't watch horror movies that are too violent. And personally, I love gangster movies, but when there is an extra gruesome killing scene, I actually look away because I don't want these images imprinted in my subconscious mind. Getting off topic here, let's get to the real juice. How to use your mind like a magician. You've probably heard, just imagine the outcome, imagine from your point of view and not an outside perspective. Imagine a scenario that symbolizes your outcome. That's pretty straightforward, right? You want a job, you imagine yourself working that job. You want money, you can imagine your bank account or what you would be doing if you had that money. And none of this is new. Here's the difference between new agey, law of attraction stuff that you see everywhere versus more energy work and doing rituals where you might be working on resolving energetic blocks, protection, shielding yourself, cleansing away negative energy. If you know, you know. You can be wanting a material result or a specific outcome all you want, but most often it's more effective to work on the root cause first, right? And what I'm about to tell you right now is a lot more abstract. So let's say you're feeling blocked and you just want the energy to be fresh. You want the blocks to disappear. You want new opportunities and all of that. And maybe you want to do some kind of road opener ritual or spell. So how the hell do you visualize that? And the key is working with symbols and symbolism. Let's stick with the example of removing blockages here and road opening for this example. You could imagine a street. There are big wooden blocks on the street. You can be walking, driving, doesn't really matter. Then maybe some kind of force comes down from the heavens and the wooden blocks are being moved out of your way. Feel it. You feel relieved. And now you can pass through, because before the street was blocked, right? Now you could picture what it is that you want coming in. For example, if you're feeling blocked from abundance, visualize money streaming toward you, on the street, like a flood or a stream of gold or $100 bills flowing in on that street where the blockages or those wooden blocks have now been removed, right? And these visualizations don't need to be long. So I often end up looping them in my mind over and over and replaying them. And you can replace the example with anything else that you're feeling blocked from. Use a symbol, a small flow of money, gold, light, bills on the street. It's simple, but really effective. Or another powerful visual for a similar example would be, you could imagine a closed door or a gate. You feel blocked, like something is being gate kept and you can't pass through. So you imagine that door or gate in front of you, and then you visualize that you're now being handed the key. Or you see the door unlocking by itself. And behind the door is what you are trying to manifest. Feel the emotions, joy, relief, excitement of finally getting through, and let that energy really flow in as you visualize all the opportunities that are behind that door. And this method really uses your creativity and your personal symbols, like symbols that are personal to you. And these short visual clips don't need to be long. Again, just keep looping them. I could give you tons of examples, but let's move on to two more powerful ones. Let's talk about spiritual cleansing. Now, when should you spiritually cleanse? Whenever you feel heavy energy or bad vibes around you, it can block literally everything. And sometimes it's deeper than just a blockage that is more on the surface level. It's an all-around negativity. And that negativity could be for a lot of reasons. It could be that you've been evil-eyed, that you're surrounded by stressed and negative people, and even public environments. And an example I can give you is riding on the New York City subway. You will pick up lots of energies from there, and lots of them are not going to be positive. It could even be your own negative thoughts. And honestly, we curse ourselves all the time with our own energy. It's really common. It's much more common than someone else doing that to you, especially professionally. But the mid-level is just sending an evil eye. That's like a mild curse. Now, as a visualization exercise for spiritual cleansing, I want you to think of cleansing, literally. What does that make you think of? And this is why there are spiritual showers, or the idea of getting baptized, where you go into a body of water because you're being cleansed physically, right? And also spiritually. So as an exercise, I want you to imagine being spiritually showered. A divine stream of white light is pouring into your crown and then all down through your body, and it flows through you. And it's like an all-around light shower. And then I want you to imagine the negativity as black or brown energy, just like dirt, that is washing off of you. And you can even feel into the negativity at the moment and acknowledge it before you see it and feel it being washed away. Literally picture it like dirt being cleansed off you, leaving you feeling fresh and clean. And again, keep looping this image in your mind. And you can do this while affirming, I'm clean, all negativity is washing away, I'm purified. And really also include the feeling. So how does it feel to feel fresh and clean, where everything in your life is flowing and you feel good and the vibes are good? Now let's move on to visualization for protection. Think of real life. What would protect you physically from harm? Some kind of shield, right? What protects a soldier? Body armor, bulletproof vests. You see where I'm getting here. So that's exactly what you're going to visualize and what you're going to create. I want you to just picture yourself surrounded by armor or by a glowing shield. And it's important that you cleanse yourself first because you don't want to lock in energetic dirt, right? Now imagine the shield as a glowing blue armor. Why blue? So I can give you different colors, but for this example, let's stick with blue. Why blue? Now blue is associated with protection, stability, and it's also the flame of Archangel Michael. Now Archangel Michael is the protective archangel, right? Just on an energetic level, blue energy freezes and stabilizes, and that is why it can work well for shielding, right? You can visualize a blue bubble around your body, and the bubble is sealed with the intention that no negative energy can get in. You can also affirm, I'm shielded from all psychic attacks. And you can use your hand if that helps you, and you can also imagine that you're painting the bubble blue, and that will create a shield on an energetic level. It's not 100% foolproof, but it really does work. And before I end this video, I just want to give you some key tips on how to make your visualizations better. And I know that people at very different levels will be watching me. Some may be quite seasoned and some are total beginners, but regardless, you can practice visualization, and you should always incorporate all of your senses. So even if you think that you're not a visual person, you can likely still do it, because there is a condition that is called aphantasia, and that actually means you cannot see images in your mind, but that is extremely rare. So most likely you just need a little bit of practice. And again, you want to incorporate your emotions, you want to incorporate sounds, touch, and smell. And what helps to create all of this is to always ask yourself, how would you feel if this happened? And then you feel that in your body. And if it's hard for you to come up with a new image, use your memory. Just to strengthen that skill overall, you can practice with real objects, okay? I can give you an exercise. You can look at an apple, because it's a good example. Take the apple out, look at it for maybe a few minutes, and then you close your eyes and you try to see it as realistic as possible, and to include all the details of the apple in your mind. Recall every single memory, color, all of it. And this is really what's going to help your skills. Now, if you want to take it a level further, you can practice with photos. Look at the photo for a couple of minutes, close your eyes, and then recall the image. And really try to see every detail. And that is really gonna improve your ability to visualize. And you can use it however you want. You can also use it for influence. And really let your creativity flow when it comes to symbolism. And one of the reasons why I'm really good at this is because I just let my creativity flow, and I just take whatever my subconscious mind gives me in the moment, and I don't second guess it. I don't second guess myself ever. Very important. But talking about how to improve all of that, I have to mention that realistic, like this sort of real life visualization versus playing with symbols is gonna feel and look a little different, right? Because like, yeah, if you're imagining or visualizing that you're getting a raise, you can create that scenario in a really, and you want to make it feel as real as possible, and your memory is your best friend in that scenario. But when you're getting more into using symbolism, like I was talking about in the video, like the streams of gold or the doors unlocking, and you know, a heavenly forest coming down, it can feel dreamy or surreal, and that's totally normal, right? And just know the difference, because both have powerful ways in their own ways. But all of this really works with the mind, and you can do so much. And rituals on their own are already powerful, but if you get good at mental magic, you can do anything. You may not even need the rest of the ritual if you are able to use your mind like that. And if you constantly do this, you will also then create thought forms that can be really powerful, right? So really don't doubt the symbols that your subconscious mind is giving you. Just use them, trust your subconscious mind, and then really play with it. And trust me when I say this, visualization can skyrocket your results. It really can. It's an art of its own, and I really often see people that practice things like magic or even just law of attraction stuff, and the difference in results that people are getting based on if they're able to visualize like this. And again, it's not the only way, but I just want to say it's really worth practicing and using, and especially those symbolic visualizations that aren't really talked about. Highly recommend. Now, I hope you found this video helpful. I would like to know what your experience with visualization is, and if you already incorporate symbolism. Just never see anyone talk about it, right? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.